He believes it should be, it's long overdue.
The intra-party high-wire act the White House faces on Senate votes on full display this week with Biden's budget director nominee.
As a daughter of a single parent and somebody who benefited from food stamps at certain points in time, she would bring a new perspective to the role.
Neera Tanden still short of the votes, and the White House still standing by the nomination.
That's why he nominated her to the job and why we're continuing to fight for her confirmation.
White House officials holding out hope for two senators, Sinema and Republican Lisa Murkowski. A heavy lift, with Biden's chief of staff making clear Tanden will have a role in the White House.
If Neera Tanden is not confirmed, she will not become the budget director. We will find some other place for her to serve in the administration that doesn't require Senate confirmation.
And, Jake, we are just now learning that a long-awaited phone call between President Biden and Saudi Arabia's King Salman has occurred. A source confirmed to our colleague Nick Robertson. This call has been long-awaited for a couple of reasons. Obviously, the U.S. is looking to reset the relationship with Saudi Arabia with the new administration. But this call was also expected to be a precursor to the release of a U.S. intelligence report into the murder of journalist Jamal Khashoggi, a report that is expected to identify King Salman's son, Mohammed bin Salman, as one of the reasons for the murder of Jamal Khashoggi. This call was supposed to happen before the release of the report. That is expected to come soon, now that the call has occurred, Jake.
All right, Phil Mattingly, thanks so much. Those tax returns that former President Trump has tried for years to keep secret are now in the hands of the New York District Attorney. Millions of pages of Trump's tax returns from January 2011 to August 2019. And yet, at the same time this is all going on, Trump is busy plotting his political comeback. CNN's Kate Bennett joins us now. And Kate, before Trump can even get to a possible another presidential run in 2024, he's got a lot of revenge he wants to exact on people.
Right. And he's probably going to serve it lukewarm and not cold. He's going to serve it a little bit before. I mean, listen, Donald Trump is a person who acts on a theory of you owe me, I owe you, you owe me, I owe you, whether it's fair or not. So he's certainly in Florida taking his time, receiving members of the Republican Party who are taking his temperature to see whether or not he will back them and whether or not in this divided Republican Party, Donald Trump really is the puppet master. And quite frankly, he appears to be. Now, looking ahead, he is thinking about 2024. He wants to run. He has told those close to him. He's told family members and close friends that he intends to run. Of course, it could just be pie in the sky, considering what you just said about his tax returns, a number of other investigations happening. But in his mind, this is something that he thinks is achievable. This is something that he wants to move forward with. And considering the state of the party and midterms coming up and people like Donald Trump Jr. helping Trump push the message, this is certainly something on the former president's mind. Jake.
All right, Kate Bennett, thanks so much. The last time this was successful, the Terminator took office. California's Democratic governor could face a recall election. He's fighting for his political life. And he's not the only Democratic governor whose early pandemic praise is not aging well. Stay with us. Problems are piling up for Democratic Governor of New York, Andrew Cuomo. His former Secretary Stephen Cohen issuing a statement ahead of a state budget hearing that the Department of Justice's inquiry into COVID nursing home deaths is a political, quote, game of gotcha. And Cohen insisting that there was no cover-up, despite one of Cuomo's top aides confirming in a private phone call a few weeks ago that there was, in fact, a delay in reporting the data to state lawmakers, what some might call a cover-up. All this while Cuomo is denying new sexual harassment allegations made by former aide Lindsey Boylan, who worked for the state's Economic Development Agency and is now running for Manhattan Borough President. Boylan alleges that Governor Cuomo made unwanted advances towards her, including kissing her in 2018 and asking her to play strip poker in 2017. Cuomo's office says Boylan's claims are, quote, quite simply false. CNN has been unable to corroborate Boylan's allegations. She has refused to give further comment on the record. Also in the politics lead today, Republicans in California believe that they're well on their way towards collecting the 1.5 million signatures needed to force a recall election to unseat the state's Democratic Governor Gavin Newsom. They're using the pandemic to fuel their campaign, accusing Newsom of keeping California in lockdown mode. But it's not just Republicans who say Newsom has gone too far, as CNN's Kyung La reports.
The fuel for these mailers, for the volunteers trying to recall California's governor, frustration.
I reached my final straw when I lost my job for the third time in November.
Stacey Edwards works in restaurants, an industry devastated in the pandemic. The object of her ire, Governor Gavin Newsom, who has mandated statewide restrictions on businesses to stop the spread of COVID.
What do you want to tell the governor about the kind of pain that you're in?
Oh, gosh. Yeah, that's an interesting question. Yeah, it's been very hard. You're going to make me emotional, but, we're talking about starting a family and buying a house, and those are all things that are having to wait because of this.
On the other side of the table,
I voted for Gavin Newsom.
Andrea Hedstrom. She says she's a lifelong Democrat who so admired Newsom that she named her son Gavin.
Do you blame the governor for the condition that the state is in?
I do at this point. Newsom is the one that's running California right now with an iron fist.
Looks like a good one.
These Californians, seething after a year of shutdowns, have found a political outlet.
These look like 3 valid signatures on this form.
The recall petition.
This is just in one day.
This is only part of one day.
Petitions sorted by county, then delivered to be officially counted. Warren Heatley launched the Recall Gavin 2020 campaign, the 6th recall attempt. The other 5 failed to qualify for the ballot against the Democratic governor who won by a landslide in 2018.
This is your 5-star spot for a smorgasbord of information.
Public records show this recall is dominated by conservative donors. Money that pays for this radio program broadcast from the heart of liberal Los Angeles.
It's Friday night at the French Laundry.
That's a dig at Governor Newsom's blunder. Caught dining maskless at this exclusive restaurant while telling his residents to stay home. He's since apologized, but it's dinged his popularity. But with California's COVID case numbers dropping, Newsom is pushing to reopen schools, easing restrictions on outdoor dining, and opening the first joint state-federal mass vaccination sites in the country. And in a sign of Newsom's political strength,
Do you have a lot of orders?
Napa Valley restaurant owners like Cynthia Ariasta, who says she lost $500,000 in wage production and sued Newsom for the shutdown, is not willing to sign on to the recall.
Who would take his place anyway? I would much rather see this as a real wake-up call that I've got some things to fix.
The future belongs.
The recall leader says his group hasn't backed a replacement. First up, getting enough signatures.
We don't know who's going to take the seat. We feel very strongly that somebody more competent is going to take that position.
Now, this is one of the tables that you see around the state as they try to collect more signatures. Organizers claim they have 1.8 million signatures so far, but, Jake, they have to verify all of those signatures. And then just because they make the ballot doesn't mean that this governor would be recalled, where Democrats outnumber Republicans 2-1 in the state of California when you look at voter registrations, Jake.
That's right, King Law. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Coming up, a warning about a new threat from the MAGA terrorists involving explosives, Congress, and the president. Stay with us. Finally from us today, there are now more than 507,000 American lives lost to coronavirus, and we want to take a moment to remember just one of them, a family friend to a member of the lead staff, Bertha Pretlow Brown. She was from Surrey, Virginia. She was a 70-year-old widow and mother of 2, surrounded by love. She had 6 siblings and spoke to her 3 sisters by phone every single day. She had 17 nieces and nephews and loved to organize movie nights, talent shows, and other family gatherings. Her family says she raised 2 daughters to treat others with kindness and to excel in school and in life. To the Pretlow Brown family, our deepest condolences. May her memory be a blessing. You can follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Jake Tapper. You can tweet the show at The Lead CNN. Our coverage on CNN continues right now. I'll see you tomorrow.